What's up, sis and bro? I missed you, and I know you missed me too. So I'm back with another review. Bars, somebody sign me, please. First of all, let's just get into this hat. Like, I never wear hats, but y'all, when I saw this, I had to get it, and I'm so excited about wearing it. Like, I'm so excited about having this hat. So I ordered it, and you know, now I gotta wear it every single day. So before we start this video, I wanted to basically put my heart out and, you know, send my prayers to the families that were affected by the two shootings that happened over the weekend, or like over a couple of days ago. One in Ohio and one in Texas. It's so sad that people of color and minorities have to deal with this. And then they ask, why are we so mad? And it's like, well, why don't you sit down and think about it? Like, it sucks that, like, we can't even go to Walmart. Like, we have to be cautious about going to Walmart. I think it's so sad. I think it's so wrong. And what's even worse is that it's not gonna get any better. And so I want to put my heart out to the families and everybody that was affected by these treacherous crimes. And I don't know, it's just so sad. It's so sad to even think about it. So into the video, I remember that I talked to you guys about wanting to do basically a virtual or online book club. So my first book, I'm sure that y'all saw it like a few seconds ago. I'm so excited to talk about this one. So basically my 3 steps of each book review video is going to be the intro to the book, like the introduction, which is going to be the author, where they're from, you know, if that stuff is in the book. It's going to be the overview, and then it's going to be the lesson that I learned from reading it. So let's get into this, you guys. Okay, so our book is by Brittany Renner, and it's called Judge This Cover. Now, I know that it is, you know, it's a bit out there. I wouldn't recommend anyone under the age of 16 reading this. Y'all ain't got no business reading this. Like, if you see a book like this and you are under the age of like 17 or 18, y'all ain't got no business reading this book. But if you are old enough, I do recommend getting it. I read this probably, I finished it in about a day and a half. I got it and I couldn't stop reading it. I thought it was so good, but I might be biased because I am a fan of Brittany. So Brittany was actually born in Ohio, but raised in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. So it makes me so happy to see people from Mississippi get out of here or become successful and give back. It's just so nice, you know, like, it's so nice to see someone from down here actually make it, you know, depending on what our definition of success is. I think that leaving and, you know, becoming an author, I think that's definitely success. I think you have reached that point by then. So yes, I'm so excited about this book. Basically, the overview is, in the book, she talks about 7 different men that she was basically in relationships or situationships with, and she talks about the ups and the downs. She talks about the good and the bad. You know, she doesn't really leave much out of it, but she also talks about the lessons that she's learned. She's very open in the book. She I think it's kind of risque that, you know, you would do this. It's not bad, it's not a bad thing, but it's definitely like, sis, you made a move. Like, I know all the guys are gonna be reading this book, you know, not only because the cover, but also because of the juicy details. It's very vivid. It's very vivid. It's explicit. It's a good book though. It is. So in the book, and I did mark it because I always highlight when I'm reading, you see her making progress because as we all know, when you get into a relationship, especially new relationships, and you really, really like somebody, you tend to give your all to them, whether they deserved it or not. And if you are somebody that loves from the heart, somebody that wants to give 100% no matter what, then that's what you end up doing. And 9 times out of 10, you get your heart broken. So you see a lot of that in the book. You see a lot of disappointment. She tells her story, her childhood story growing up. But in this particular chapter, she said something that is common sense, but I don't think we realize it enough. And it says, no woman alive can change a man, no matter how beautiful, rich, intelligent, or tolerant she may be. A man who sees no fault in his way of living doesn't see beyond the horizon, and it's not personal. I never stopped loving you. I just love me more than the idea of you. And I think right there, first of all, her words were brilliant. I think this book is great for young women to read examples and to see what other people go through so that you can avoid a lot, so that you don't have to live through these heartbreaks. I think that women should definitely read this book. So yeah, basically her progress. Also, I forgot to mention that she does have a lot of humor in this, but she is super funny. Like when I found her on Instagram, I followed her not only because she's clearly gorgeous, but she was making videos at the time, and they were what would you say? They were pretty open videos. She was talking about celibacy, talking about some relationships, and I thought she was so funny, so I had to follow her. And then I think maybe a year or two later, I found out that she's from Mississippi, like literally right down the road. And I'm just like, oh my God. It was a deal breaker. I'm in love with her. So she has a closing in the book, and one part says, we fear what we don't know because we don't take the time to understand. Right is a direction, wrong is subjective. So in this closing, she kind of gets out of, well, actually she does. She gets out of the relationships. You know, she's not talking about relationships anymore. She's basically giving life advice, and it's actually really, really good advice. Not that I'm surprised, but while you're reading the book, you don't think that this is what the closing is going to be about. And she just has so many good points, like hurt people hurt people. And if after being hurt, you decide to hurt people, you're no better than the hurt people. So sit down and just think about that. You know, she has a lot of that. But what really caught my attention, I'm going to read this, and I'm going to read it, and I'm not reading this to spoil the book, because I definitely think that you guys should go and get it and read it. You know, whether it's on Kindle or just go and get the paperback. I wanted to give this to you. So she goes, have you ever applied to Harvard? No, me neither. Why? I know damn well I don't fit their criteria, so I would never waste my time applying to their school. Think of your heart, mind, and like Harvard. Many will come, but few are chosen. You can't afford to waste a second of your time on a student who didn't even follow the application properly. Weed them out early. You are worth the wait and will thank me later. Don't sit around idealizing like I did and end up missing the red flags. I was impatient and lowered my requirements to increase the number of potential applicants. I thought if I made it easier to get in, it would be easier for a man to love me. I shortchanged my worth, and I wondered why I came out feeling cheated. So what caught my attention, and it's funny that, you know, the whole book had my attention, but what really got me, and I even wrote a note in there, is lowering your standards. Are you lowering your standards by talking to certain people that you know don't serve you? And the answer is yes. In my previous video, which y'all should go watch, I'll link it down in the description box below, I talked about making yourself a priority and being happy. And I think I do need to record another video touching more on that. But it's so important to not lower your standards. It's very important to hold yourself at a higher, what's the word? I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. But you know how you see people way up here and they end up disappointing you? That happens a lot. And I think that what everybody should do is make sure that you put yourself way up here before you put somebody else on your level. Make them work for it. Make sure to, and I know that it's repeated, but please don't lower your standards, because in the end, you end up cheating yourself. And it's like, what's the point? Why did you cheat yourself? Why did you cheat yourself of a potentially good life, a potentially good relationship? And I know that things in your situation may not be that deep, but it's important to know that one bad relationship, situationship, friendship can literally ruin your life. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to put a little more reality into your mind, to be more realistic, to not live in a world filled with your perception, because not everybody thinks like you. So back to the point, are you lowering your standards? Are you accepting things that you know you don't deserve? Accepting things and accepting fake apologies and excuses because you love somebody. Think about your situations, think about your friendships, think about your relationships in life, even family. You have to think about this with family. Are you selling yourself short? That's the question that I wanted to leave you guys with today. I just wanted to share that. I wanted to, again, talk about the book. In the back, you guys, it's so funny. Like, this book is something serious, but if you don't like explicit language, if you don't like risque, if you don't like the topic of sex, if you don't agree with how other people live their lives, I don't recommend reading it. I'm only going to review books that I really do like. So that was the video for today, the book review. I hope to see you guys back again for my next video. Make sure to not forget to subscribe, like my video, share it, and comment. Let me know what books you want me to read and review. Thank you so much, and I hope to see y'all back the next video.